I'm going to be looking at the general chat. So if you guys have some questions in there, I'm also going to try to peek the VC questions chat, but uh, being able to talk and read at the same time is going to make things a little tricky. So please bear with me a little bit here. And then,
Are you there?
hey, Time Bandit, we can hear you
Hey,
now.
what's up? Good. Is it okay? Is it too loud or is it too soft?
No, you're in Texas, so we expect you to be loud.
Gotta be, man. It's a big place. They can't hear you very far away.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, I appreciate everybody being patient. I wasn't quite prepared to do a solo run of this yesterday. Sometimes life happens. So I wanted to kick it to today so that I was more mentally prepared to run the AMA solo this week. I was also hoping that by pushing it out one day that we would have some great news in regards to season two. So I've been back and forth with the devs all week, all last week, and pretty much it feels like for my entire life so far. Um, so I know that Hermes has dropped a couple of visual leaks, and so I think that you guys have an idea of what season two looks like. Also, what the additional integrations that were being developed and pushed. The most recent update. So I'll start with an update on season two launch, and then I will try to go into the general chat and look for some questions. And Time Bandit, you feel free to speak up anytime you'd like. I know that you're usually only here for, at least chatting, for a few minutes on each AMA. So, but first, let me just jump in and give you guys an update on season two. So, in terms of the actual launch of season two, the platform is essentially ready at this point. There was the only real sticking point that I've been. Hold on a second. The only real sticking point that I've been made aware of was just some server communication issues that cropped up right as we were attempting to essentially send everything to production, to send it to live, to launch everything. It wasn't something that persisted all the time, but it was something that in the testing environment that came up after about 15 hours or so of it being online and being tested. And so the issue has been discovered. It's actually due to the reliance on a third-party platform. So that's being rectified or has been rectified now. The fix has been pushed. And so now we're back just doing some final testing right now. So in terms of season two, not Steven, but season two on the development side is complete. And now it's just mainly just being tested. Um, uh, but as far as going live, I still have every anticipation that that's going to happen this week. So with that, that would also include marketing. That would include, all the things that we've discussed for the last few weeks. And so I'll pause there real quick and see if I can get any sort of like relevant questions in the general chat. And then I'll kind of segue into what the next steps look like. Or if you got anything you
well,
want to say there.
yeah. Is it the chat that's maybe holding it up a little bit more than it would have?
No, no. Actually, that integration was only took a couple of days, and then testing was about another day. We actually had another dev that was working on that implementation, and it seems to be working quite well. And I think that's going to be a really excellent addition to the game platform, and something that we can also build on and expand on over time and make it even more fun and interesting, especially since that level of integration is also a third party supported thing. So as they mature and develop their platform, then we get to reap the benefits of that. So no, that's not necessarily the issue. It's the game engine itself, as well as the wagering mechanics, that foundational layer that we've spent so many months building and working on. Um, there seemed to be just a small communication issue that happened between those two different layers, and so that issue's been resolved, and now we're back to testing, and feel pretty confident that it's going um,
Well,
that's going to go like.
another question about the chat. Is it going to be in Discord?
Correct. Yeah. So the chat itself is essentially like a mirror of the Discord itself. So if you're chatting in Discord, you'll see it in the game. If you're chatting in the game, you'll see it in Discord.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting and a very neat feature. And I think it's something that people are going to enjoy right out of the gate. And again, we could really look to expand on that and to hopefully build on that integration over time. Okay. So obviously, one of the biggest issues is the delay in launching season two. We're essentially 20 days now late. Tomorrow will be exactly 3 weeks delayed in launching season two. Which I share everybody's sentiment and feelings on that. That's a huge missed mark. And it's disappointing. I know it's disappointing to a lot of you guys in the community. You guys have been more than patient. And I'm trying to be patient myself. I'm trying to when working with the development team, and then obviously working with the people that we've contracted to help assist in building season two and other aspects of Meme Combat. Been trying to remain patient but stern as well, and so it's I share in that frustration. And what I can say is that as a team, we are looking at making some pretty significant changes, not only to how we approach development in the future, but also operations wise, how we're looking at supporting Meme Combat moving into the future. And so once we get season two launched, the intention is to make some serious shakeups, some serious changes into the way that we work towards supporting this platform. And so we will be, in that regard, we'll be answering to some of these delays and some of the missteps that have delayed not only just season two launch, but also the things that occurred with season one and everything in between. So definitely looking to not just maintain the status quo once we get through the season two launch, especially when we're looking at milestones for 2025 that we are also going to be, from an operations standpoint, looking to support those with a higher degree of success than we have thus far. So, and I'll pause there real quick. I'm seeing
Well,
somebody flexing their arm, but not getting any specific questions to get in the
if
chat.
if you need somebody to here stateside to go kick some doors in and encourage people, just give me a holler. I know some people.
Yeah, so one of the things that is really tricky about this, and I know I've mentioned it on previous AMAs, and it's very much still relevant. The very diverse, the very spread out team that we have is good in some respects, but then in others, it definitely causes undue delay in both development as well as being able just to effectively communicate as a team. We have people that are participating and supporting this effort that are spread out all over the globe, and it's been that way from the onset, from day one. I find that to be very interesting, and I'm very passionate about working with and collaborating with people all over the place, because I think that especially having a very diverse team that's geographically spread out brings a lot of little nuances to the project that otherwise would be be missed. And one of those things I think is that was relevant or very early on was the need for having localization built into our platform, having all these different languages. Now, I know that we don't have localization currently set up on our website, but that is coming. We're also looking at establishing some localization features for the actual game side of the platform as well, sometime during season 2, which would be pretty big. It'd be massive. But because it's no longer a text base, or we're moving away from that text-based format, we can support localization on the game side as well, without some significant hindrance. Um, but yeah, so I mean, we have some pretty big changes coming. I think that we're going to make a concerted effort towards centralizing some of our core development team so that they're not so geographically dispersed that creates, lag time or delay into completing work packets. And then also a big part of it is, and for those of you that have a development background, I know there's quite a few of you out there. More often than not, communication, not just development skills, but communication skills is huge, especially when you're a team looking to build such a complex product like Meme Kombat. So not being able to effectively communicate or get a timely response to a simple question without having to introduce like an 8-hour lag time just significantly delays forward progress. So having people just kind of more centrally located, generally in the same time zone at least, I think is going to be a huge step in terms of being able to expedite and for future work products that we're looking to complete. And so I'll leave it at that, and because I know that it looks like we have a couple of questions. One of them is, will a sex come with season 2 launch? So we haven't really talked about on this AMA yet, centralized exchange. We've covered this kind of in different ways in previous AMAs, and so I think it's still very relevant. So I'll just kind of briefly highlight, what I see as the trajectory for that. A centralized exchange listing is going to be basically paired with increased volume on MK token. I mean, that's the name of the game on centralized exchanges. They're looking to onboard tokens that bring them volume. That's really all they care about. We anticipate that with the successful launch of season 2, when that happens, that we will see a spike and an increase in volume on the MK token, making us a far more attractive listing option for a tier 1 exchange, which has been all along our goal and our aim to have a centralized exchange on a tier 1 exchange added to MK. So that's still the goal. That's still what we're aiming to do. But it kind of everything is just resting on the launch of season 2, which is very close. And I know that I've been saying it's very close for weeks now. But as you guys can see from the visual leaks and from what other things that Hermes has been very diligent about sharing in both Discord and Telegram communities, that we are very, very close. And I personally anticipate that we should see a production level launch for everybody this week. And so I'm really hoping that's the case. I can't make any promises, but for my own sanity and for the sanity of everybody else, I'm really hoping that's the case. And then
for clarity, let me just clarify that a minute, if I can. The timeline you're saying, this is for everybody who's asking when, is going to be successful launch, then marketing, then centralized exchange, correct?
Yeah, I mean, correct. Yeah, so the centralized exchange is the wild card, right? Because that's an outside entity, a different firm. So we're, I can't put any timelines on that, but what I can say is that conversation gets reignited and moves forward once those other things happen. So with the successful launch of season 2, I've been reluctant, obviously, to push the go button on our marketing campaign, and I'm actually pretty happy that's been the case. And reluctant to do that until I have the 110% guarantee, that the season 2 is going live. And so I'm very, very glad that, number one, that we didn't go live with our marketing efforts on the 4th, July 4th, or even just subsequent, like the week after. Because exactly what my fear would have come to fruition, which would be that we had issued an expensive marketing campaign. People would come taking a look and then realize that season 2 hadn't dropped, and they would have left, and then we would have wasted a big opportunity and not made an amazing impression on people. So what I'm looking for is confirmation of life of sorts that season two is essentially live, and then we will move forward with the marketing effort. Again, as every week that passes by, we keep having to go back through and re-edit some of the copy that's going to be used for publications and PR, as well as social media components. All these things are requiring to go back and retouch it and revision it because it's very specific in terms of the period that it's addressing. So yeah, I mean, we're ready to go on the marketing side just as soon as we have a game to go with it. And with that, we're anticipating that we're going to see an increase in volume, which then, is the catalyst for everything else that everybody is looking for from the project. So that's the plan. Nothing's really changed. My anticipation is that the game drops this week. And trust me, there's probably nobody out there that wants it to drop more than me at this point. So, but we'll park it right there real quick and see if we have another question coming in.
I don't
Unless
see
you got
any,
another question. Yeah.
Hey, well, wait, is Zeus still around?
Yeah, he's around somewhere, I'm sure. I know that he's been pretty busy with other things. But he's and I haven't been spending as much time in the chat, so I don't know if you've seen him on Discord or elsewhere chatting. I've been kind of keeping my face buried on the development side.
He's here. He's in chat right now. I saw him.
Oh, okay. Great. Let's see. We got another question here. So, what about the different match types in the arena, like two versus one, 3 versus 1, or tag team matches? Yeah. So, for the initial launch of season two, the structure is going to remain in terms of the memes versus meme. It's going to remain relatively similar to season one. We've talked before about maybe like a slightly modified version of like season 2.5. We definitely have different game modes and variations planned in Architect for season 3 and beyond. But season 2, I think, really will highlight a dramatic shift in the game play, the visuals, the introduction of audio samples related to gameplay. So there will be a natural progression of different game modes and game variations introduced as we move through the different seasons and as the game evolves. But initially at season 2's drop, you'll see one meme versus another, and so we'll look to expand upon that as we transition through different seasons. Thank you for being muscular. A memorable username. Thank you for your question. Do we have any other questions out there?
All I'm seeing is a bunch of win, and we pretty much answered those.
Yeah. Yep.
As soon as possible.
Yeah, and I know that that Hermes had mentioned that he's going to be coordinating the NFT giveaway side of things. Just once that works for him. I know that he's got some other things going on, which is completely that we're all human. We got things to do. But yeah, so that'll be coming, and I know that he's usually pretty good about wrapping up the AMAs with that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that he'll keep you guys updated and posted on what that'll look like. But so yeah, we'll. So this is being recorded, but we won't drag the AMA on too long today. Mostly just because it's kind of fumbling through it, trying to get to you guys' questions, but. We are working diligently on getting season 2 out. We're ready and waiting to put the marketing forward. We're looking to make some changes in the way that we support this project once season 2 is launched. These are all things that we've put into motion and that we're looking to execute on just as quickly as I mean. But right now, it's all hands on deck is in terms of getting this season 2 launch out and stopping the delay. Um, but yeah, that's where we are right now. I have to say, I'm still very, very impressed that despite the delays, the support for MK token has remained pretty stable price wise. I think that's a reflection of the community at large and the level of support that they have for the game and how excited everyone is. I just want to see what happens when season 2 launches and the marketing kicks off. I think it's going to be paired nicely with a relatively supportive market. I mean, Ethereum last week made a little bit
Ethereum,
of a resurgence. Yeah.
Ethereum
And I think
ETF went live Tuesday.
yeah,
Went live
I know. So
yesterday.
So I think that there's a huge opportunity that we could seize on with respect to season two's launch. If we get it out, this week, I think that there's a market that's willing and ready to receive it, and that we could definitely seize upon some support out there from new eyes and new people that are interested in the platform. So I'm excited to get it out to them. I'm excited to get it to you guys. You deserve it. You've been waiting, and I'm excited to play it as well with you guys all. So
Well, we know it's a good product. We know it. And we know it's going to go to the moon. It's just going to take patience. And I can't see anybody who's been here for a long time getting out. We're all with you. So just keep it up. We'll see
yep,
you at
yep,
the
that's right.
finish line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's been a few times here and there, where I've dragged out my screen pillow and put my face into it and just kind of just let it rip. But then you just kind of get right back in the saddle and keep moving things forward. And that's really where we are today. So nobody's got any quit in them. But we're wanting to make sure at this point that we release a quality product, and I think that's exactly what we have. And we want to make sure that stability is there, and we want to ensure that we have the lowest possible amount of downtime for season 2, because I really see that as a key benchmark on the improvement side from season 1. And so season 1 was a really dynamic platform, and there was obviously some unforeseen downtime related to some of the services and the architecture that we're using, but we've learned from that. We've patched that. We've implemented fixes for those, and so wanting to see a significant increase in uptime for season 2 and beyond. And yeah, that's where we are as of today. We're coming
In
up on
Texas,
30. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, in Texas, we'll say that season 2 is going to whip ass and take names. So we're ready.
Nice. Very good. Well, I'm not seeing a ton of questions. I'm not able to give any sort of like price expectations. I have my own personal hopes, but I won't put those out into the universe. But I think that we'll see a very positive impact with the launch of season 2 and the launch of marketing. And the reason why I feel that way is because of the current level of support that we have for the token where we are today. So I think that there's only going to be room for improvement on that, which is an exciting concept. There's a lot of projects, and I know that we talked about this last week on the AMA. There's a lot of projects that come on hot and then they fizzle out really fast. MK has been around for a while now. I mean, we're coming up on a year of this project. Really kind of like moving. And I'm excited that we still have the level of support that we do, and that we have nothing but opportunity in front of us to seize on that. So really excited about that. Looking forward to what comes next. All eyes on season 2, and that's what we're gonna do first, and then everything else comes after. So, but we're coming up on 30 minutes now, and we'll probably keep today relatively short, just because I don't have my main man Hermes by my side to help keep things running smoothly. But I'm sure that we'll probably have him back again next week. But
Buy the dip and let her rip, guys.
that's that's isn't that the truth? Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up for today. I appreciate you guys being flexible about yesterday. It's good to get on here and chat with you today. We will, get season 2 out just as quickly as we possibly can, and I'll look to keep you guys updated as soon as I have relevant updates to share on this. And we'll all, send good vibes to Hermes and the rest of the team, and we'll see you guys in the chat. But thanks for jumping on here today, and I appreciate you guys' support.